Who has got a savings account? Or do you keep your money in a bag under your bed? People? Right. Looks as we're going nowhere today. I'm still waiting. Tell me what a check account is. Tell me what a savings account is. It's not a difficult question.
A savings account is for your saved money. Like the money that you saved is going in your savings account.
Where's your pocket money going? Into a check account or a savings account, Corinne?
Savings account.
Right. And you have a debit card that you use to withdraw money from that account?
No, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
So what card do you have? Do you just have a normal, but a debit card means that that's the card you can use to actually draw it. That's the ATM card. It's called a debit card, okay?
Okay.
No problem. Now, a check account is a different form of account where you put your money in the bank, so you do not have to carry the cash with you all the time. Your mum gives you 1,000 rand cash every month for your pocket money, or does she do an EFT or a transfer into your account?
She transfers the money.
Exactly. It's safer to do that as well. So we've actually come a long way. Now, I think we've now determined what a savings account and what a check account is. A key account has got nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. It's not an account that you have at a bank that you can actually put a card into an ATM and draw money from. A key account has absolutely nothing to do with any form of account held at a commercial bank that you can use to prevent you from walking around with a lot of cash in your pockets all the time. A key account is or refers to that customer that will provide you, and I think as recently as yesterday, we referred to the 80-20 rule. 20% of your business is going to come from, my apologies, let me rephrase that. 80% of your business is going to be generated by 20% of your clients. You have a bakery, for instance, as a business. Now, people will walk in and there will be customers through your shops the whole day. They will buy pies, they will buy breads, bagels, croissants, muffins, whatever you bake, they will buy. Those are the normal walk-in customers, regular customers. Sometimes some people every morning. This morning when I dropped my son off at school, actually stopped to fill up my car, and I thought, well, let's quickly run into the shop and buy a newspaper as well. And there was a guy standing in front of me in the queue, and he was chatting to the manager of this quick stop at the engine garage, and where's your pies? I said, well, the manager was like, well, the pies are where they always are. Yeah, but there's only such this pie and that pie and that pie. Oh, I'm talking about 7:30 in the morning now. He says, well, I can't start my day without a pie. It was very obvious that he was actually more sort of jokingly chatting to the manager, because the manager obviously knows that he's a regular client, knows that at that time in the morning, because he starts his first shifts at 3 o'clock already, that he comes in sort of for a mid-morning pie and just to get him through the morning or whatever, because he's not going to have breakfast at 3 o'clock in the morning. And that individual is a regular that buys from your bakery, but is not necessarily a key account. There will be certain businesses that use your services, and buy large quantities of your of what you produce at your bakery. They put in big orders, and they put the big orders in regularly. Maybe there is a specific school that orders certain snack platters, savory pastry platters, because every Friday at the school there's somebody's responsible for supplying that in the staff room, whatever. So they buy regularly, and they buy regular quantities. They might even have regular functions, sporting events, seminars, and they buy regularly, and they buy in large quantities. Now, those people are going to be responsible for 80% of the turnover of your business. They qualify as key accounts. In other words, they are your top clients. That's another word for this. A key account is your high potential customer. He's going to, or that business or that customer is going to spend a lot of money regularly and basically keep you in business. Because if you just keep on selling pies and breads and whatever on a daily basis, eventually, with the increase in rent and everything, you are just going to eventually close your doors, like the Shack is now in Cape Town. Sad moment. Had some good times there. The key account therefore referred to nothing related to a particular place where you keep money and that you can draw money from. It refers to the status of a customer that is very valuable to your business because they produce a great deal of revenue for you, or they have the potential to do that. They might currently just be a regular customer, but they have the potential to become a very important customer because their contribution towards your turnover increases. And they usually have complex needs. They are very specific. They are not going to, and you'll see through this chapter, and that's what key account management referred to. How do you manage that individual? Because the customer was just complaining this morning that his particular steak pie that he usually eats is not there because the bakery has not finished the first batch. You know what? He's going to come back tomorrow and buy a pie anyway. And he was standing with a pie in his hand anyway, although it wasn't the pie that he wanted. He's always going to buy a pie. Okay, so you're not going to be too concerned. You will always, of course, want to satisfy the customer, but you're not going to go out your way and now change your shifts at work for the baker to come in earlier so you can actually satisfy this one customer. If, however, this particular customer, who's a regular customer, now says, you know what, yesterday I bought 2 pies, and I actually, when I got to work, one of the guys wanted to taste it, and I gave him one of the pies. He likes it, and now the whole business wants to actually put in an order. Now that all of a sudden now has the potential to become a serious customer and not just a regular visitor. Okay, and that's the main difference, and that's why they get special treatment, because our key account or key accounts are special customers that have the potential to contribute largely to our turnover in our business, and therefore they get that special treatment, or they have the potential to become one if they are not there yet. Very often, this is a business that that has a sort of a more nationwide footprint. In other words, they have branches throughout a particular country. If you talk about South Africa, it would be, for instance, an example would be if you are in, let's stick to the theme, if you are in the baking industry and your business is located in Cape Town and you bake and you supply to the guy around the corner, and then Pick n Pay later on comes up and says, listen, guys, I mean, we get very good reviews from the quality of work that you do and products that you produce and bake. Would you mind baking for us as well? You would be very happy, because every business wants a key account, or at least one key account that they know they can rely on, regardless of how tough the economic situation is. That key account will always, that key account customer will always put in an order. It might be slightly less in difficult times, but they will still put their regular orders in, so you can bank on them, you can rely on them. That also positively affects your business and the sustainability of your business. Now, in this particular case, if you then become a supplier to Pick n Pay, Pick n Pay would eventually say more than one of their outlets would be interested, and your business grows, and that's where you start appointing more and new staff to specifically deal with that key account. Not a regular salesperson that on a daily basis just picks up the phone the customers, inform them of what's available, but to give undivided attention to this particular customer, because you know that you're sort of protective of your key account customers, because you don't want to lose them, because if you lose them, it impacts severely on your business. There are 3 specific features of key account management. Firstly, it's special treatment that you are providing to these special customers. It could be that you offer them special prices because they buy in certain quantities. It could be that you are prepared to customize the products that you produce for their specific needs. It could be that when it comes to payment, that you extend their credit period from your usual 60 days to 120 days. Furthermore, you have a specific manager, account manager, that deals with this particular key account. And then also, you might be offering more than just the normal sales service to the customer, where you are producing the products that they want. You might sometimes even make suggestions to them, and these 2 businesses, because they're on that level, that they have formed a relationship to the point where the one almost cannot exist without the other, they start sharing functions. They start sharing functions, which means a significant reduction in costs, where you have to go out and now spend a lot of money on research to ensure that your business remains sustainable and can actually grow. Now, it's not the case anymore, because now you might tap into the resources of your key account that actually are fulfilling that function already, or have that function already. So it's basically using the best from both companies, my apologies, in the same context. So the marketing people from the supplier or the seller would be working very closely with the marketing people from the buyer, and they will share ideas. Similarly with IT, with research, with finances, all the different departments will work closer together, because there's been a mutual trust, a relationship of mutual trust that has been established over a period of time. At this point, it's 5 minutes past 1. I just want to, I've just made a side note to myself. We were informed yesterday that, especially when our double periods like now, there are some students who have asked, maybe some lecturers didn't give them a break between sessions. I don't think we've ever had that problem where we always give sufficient breaks. But what I am going to do is to rather stick to the 40-minute sessions with 5 minutes, and it can be an extended break between two sessions. But I realized after I read the email that it's probably because it was probably an issue that was raised by some students, because there are students, especially third and second years, who have clashes with different modules, and maybe there's a double period and they can't do the one session, but I can do the other. But if I work through the 40-minute period and through the 5-minute break, they might miss work because they can only join for the second session. So I'm going to try and stick to the 40-minute session with a 5-minute break. It doesn't mean, however, that we cannot have other breaks within the 40 minutes, or that we can't still occasionally finish our session slightly early if our workload, our workload allow that. So if everybody's fine with that, I know that because we can't see each other, you might break away anyway for a quick smoke break, because I'm pretty sure you're not sitting in front of your screens the whole time for the entire 40 minutes. I'm the only one who has to be in front of the screen the whole time for 40 minutes. You guys can get up and go to the fridge. You guys can go out and quickly walk around the house, or you guys can quickly go out and fill up a cup of coffee or have a smoke break, and I won't even know it. But it's not important to me either. The fact is, however, I'm going to try and honor that 5-minute break in between sessions, and I'm going to try and stick to the 40 minutes just to ensure that if there are students with specific time issues, that they don't miss work or catch up in the middle of a session. All the sessions are recorded anyway, so they still have the option of, if anything has been missed, that they can actually watch it later. Anybody at this point, do you have a better understanding now of what a key account is all about and what a key account is?
So I just have like a question. So a key account is a special business, basically.
It's a special customer. The subject that this module is on is sales and operations. So in your operations of the business, it's important that you have regular customers. It's important that you keep your customers happy, and those customers that you have kept happy, and as a result of their satisfaction with what your business offers them, they have expanded their contribution to, they've increased their orders, and as a result of that, they have become a very important client to you. So it's basically you're putting your caps on for this module as what are the sales functions and operational functions that in your business, regardless of what your business is, what you're offering to the customers. And the key accounts in this case refer to those customers that you offer special services to, because their contribution, their value for your business is very, very big. If you have a 1 million turnover business, they would probably be responsible for about 600,000 of that, and might even be more of the 1 million turnover. And that's why you treat them differently. You still provide the same quality service. You still provide the same products that you often do. You do it in larger quantities and in a more regular basis to these customers, to the point where you can actually now have a staff member in your business that are specifically given the function, and they are referred to as key account managers, to work with these very important customers. Is that summarizing it clearly for you, Larissa?
Yes, thank you, sir.
No problem at all. Anybody else? Any questions? Right. Let's look at one more aspect before we take our mandatory break, and that is to look at what conditions is needed for customer to successfully qualify as a key account holder, so to speak. Firstly, there's integration of the key account program, KAP, key account program, in the company's overall sales effort. So basically, that refers to that joint function, or that function that where specific departments between you as the supplier and your customer, the key account customer, and the similar department, finance, marketing, sales, that work together as part of that special agreement and relationship. Then also, in a business, for the key account management to be successful, some people feel that, you know what, they're getting special treatment, and a lot of the management don't buy into it because they see this particular function as a sales function, and it should be done by the sales department, where it actually is a relationship function that all different departments in both businesses should actually attend to. And that's very clear, and that's one of the main functions, of a key account manager, to ensure that it gets the teams and the staff of both companies, they get them on the same page, so they understand what their roles are. The one's not replacing the other. It's just, instead of sending me an email, and which I will send to somebody else, and then eventually it will get to the person who needs to attend to it, I can actually send it straight to that person. That's the level of the relationship that you as a business have with a key account, or a business that is qualified as a key account, an important client, so to speak. Okay, clear and practical lines of communication, I just referred to that. Establishment of objectives and missions. Very often, your business has still got your own mission and your own strategies on how to achieve your goals and objectives, and so do they. Remember, when somebody buys from you, and this very often refers to businesses, because an individual buyer is only going to buy one product, but a business is going to buy a larger quantity of items. So key accounts very often, or most often, refer to business between businesses because of the quantity of the transaction. So the two businesses will still have their own separate objectives and missions, but there will be greater collaboration because of the relationship, the special relationship between those two businesses, where they can assist each other in achieving these objectives. Compatible work relationship, ensuring that what I've just said, the two functions at the two different businesses work closely with each other. Although they are very clearly defined boundaries as to you can't now all of a sudden tell your key account holder, you know what, I think you should rather do this. You know what, otherwise we'll have to maybe, no, there's no maybes in the relationship. And that's why key accounts don't just pop up every month, every week. It's the end result of a nurtured relationship over a period of time that you've established with the client. That's that mutual trust, and that level of mutual trust that's been reached where the companies trust each other to that point where they know that whatever decision is taken by either one of the two is going to be mutually beneficial to both. Because let's in summary, before we take our break, let's just look at it. You are the seller. Wouldn't you want a key account customer? Wouldn't you want a customer that's going to put in large orders regularly? Of course you would, because that guarantees you good business. Now, if you reverse the roles, the key account, the important customer, wouldn't they want to also get their products from a reliable supplier that they know they can count on? That's the basis of this particular relationship between a supplier and a buyer, where the buyer becomes a key account customer to the supplier. Too much information in too short period of time, or are we all good at the moment? You need more than just a cup of coffee just to get your levels on the 3000 and energy up for the next session? Good. If I've got 1 thumbs up, so the 1 thumbs up means that I'm going to stop the recording now. I've got 2 thumbs up. Thanks, Lydia. And I've got 3 thumbs up. Okay, right. That means that we might have no, we're not going to have a longer break. I'd much rather finish 5 minutes early. People, let's take a break. It's 1:15 now. Oh, just beyond 1:15. Let's resume in 5 minutes. I'll stay online. I'm just going to mute myself and stop the recording so we can separate the 2 recordings.